Okay. Um, I've been validated by reality. That should put things in perspective. What I say is not special and unique and magical. It's just as target individual, we are truly are rewired, manipulated, and even our logic and our thoughts are manipulated to try to, in order to make us identify with these manipulations. I'm surrounded by what you call perps. Perps are governmental contracted civilians who partake in the targeting of a target individual, right? So this program is obviously led by the Department of Defense. Obviously, the Department of Defense assets are being utilized, technology, resources, and they are contracting people around you to make you accept these things. Or while you're being manipulated using this very sophisticated technology. This technology can do so much to your brain. It truly rewires you. It alters your mind, and it's like we are test subjects to some kind of like cognitive warfare weaponry. At least this is how it's used onto us. And so it seems like they just test out what kind of you know cognitive manipulation is going to torment the target individual the most, or make that target individual identify with this manipulation. Now, my logics have been rewired to identify with these manipulations because what's happening today is every time I look at a child, they do this nasty manipulation that is pedophilia centric. They do this pedophilia type of torture commonly. They do that to men, women all around the world. And they've been all saying the same thing. They force us, they do this child porn in my mind. They manipulate me. They force me to get sexual arousals toward children. They playing my thoughts and implant. It's very, very specific to pedophilia type of torment, which if it makes sense. Because if they try to break you down, they're going to use the most disturbing cognitive manipulations possible, which is pedophilia centric. The people around you are then supposed to make you believe that you're not being manipulated, that you should not listen to all the testimonies that show a clear pattern that the pedophilia type of torture is what they're doing to you. So what they try to do is like, okay, for me at least, they are bringing up the stupid thing I did as a child. I did some inappropriate act as a child that a kid at that age is capable of doing. It's something that is so impulsive that I completely forgot about it the second I did it as a child. They've been trying to exaggerate that because by exaggerating it, they can try to make themselves be like, "Now you pay for what you did as a kid," because they want me to imagine that I molested, I did this, and that. The truth is, whatever I did it to myself, but it was still inappropriate. But this is what a child is capable of doing. Matter of fact, they try to say, "No, you abuse," and truly to be even considered abuse, sexual abuse, it would be, it's not, it not even be called that because it was just me doing something to myself. But either way, it was still inappropriate for it was inappropriate action of me as a child. But what you see a child capable of doing, that's what kids around that age, it's just like this like age where things are a little bit more impulsive and it's like you hit puberty and things you just learn and so this is something that happened and never happened again, right? This is very typical for kids, right? Usually that's the case, but in certain cases it's extremes and you have to be really worried about it because things like that can happen multiple times and sometimes it is sexual abuse, right? Sometimes it is there's kids molesting kids, doing things to kids sexually. That is truly happening. Now, unfortunately for them, that's not what I did when I was a child. I did something to myself, and it was a moment that only happened once, which shows the level of impulsiveness. No, not only that, the fact that not only it only happened once, but it was such a insignificant, insignificant moment in my mind as a child that I forgot about it completely, right? If it was something that was like, oh, memorable, I'd be like thinking about this moment, no, it completely disappeared. Pure, pure proof that this is just a pure impulsiveness of a kid, right? Now, they know this, but their job is to get you to accept these manipulations. They want you to accept that today, what you're experiencing, the reason why you have this stimulation and sensation stimulation that you're getting toward children, that you're forced to be manipulated this way, is what they're doing is just to make you think the way you thought when you were a kid. that your brain now is brought back to you as a child, which makes no sense. You're basically making me mentally retarded, right? It's just nonsensical. They're just forcing me to have these nasty stimulations, and then they try to find ways. No, but does it not feel familiar? You felt something like that when you're it's like trash. You just manipulate my brain in a way that's going to be disturbing to me because this is a I'm a test subject to a cognitive warfare type of weaponry. So you're going to find what's going to break me down, which is what's going to break most people down. Is the pedophilia type of torture. That's why it's such a commonly used tactic. It's used as a weapon. And I'm supposed to identify to these things. So these people around you, they're part of this ecosystem that's supposed to make me identify with these current manipulations. And so they make me think, oh, what you did was a kid. Like, so some of them is just the most disgusting things. Because there's plenty of testimonials that you'll find. And some of the testimonials include how they torture children. They need test samples, test subjects of all ages, all culture, all gender. And so, unfortunately, children are also being targeted, or this technology is applied onto children in a negative way. They burn them, they sexually torture them, they do horrible things to them. You hear testimonies, women saying, me and my young child have been test subject and we've been dealing with that for years, or because of that, we've been damaged psychologically and physically. That is I have 4 pages of what I've been going through and we need help, right? They do that to children. And I know why they do that to children. Is for the result they want to get out of the target individual and try to get the best results. It's disgusting. We're truly guinea pigs, but the guinea pigs include children. So these people who are looking at you in these angry ways, right? They try to be, oh, you're paying now. They are involved in a program where even sexual torture is applied onto kids. And they want you to forget this reality and want you to be like, no, but you pay for what you did. You pay now for what you did as a kid. Trash ass. You're a nasty low life. 3-4 months ago, a man just killed 18 people. A child died because they pushed this man to death, to killing himself. But he decided to kill himself by killing others. And the child, an innocent child, just ended up dying. These people are low-life trash. They don't want to be seen because I'm going to see what they truly do to kids. The misery, the torture they've applied onto children. This is not things I have to exaggerate. It's truly what you do. You can make me think of me as a middle school kid and try to exaggerate what I did. But I'm going to know that there's a 7-year-old autistic kid that was crying and screaming in pain because she was being tormented. These people think they're going to act... They think I'm going to let them stay in characters like focus. It's like really like action. It's like, no, piece of shit. We talk about blood of children on your hand, you fucking low lives. Some of you have children. There's not going to be acting your way out of this. You'll be seen for what you truly are. Now, for me, I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to make me identify with what's happening to me today. They're so desperate to make me accept this manipulation. They make me think of anything they can try to create as a pattern. What a piece of shit. So pathetic. They make me think of, when I was younger, when I was 14, I remember when my cousin would go to shower, wash my younger cousin. And they would take him, they would come in the bathroom, in the bathroom that was in the bedroom where I was watching TV. So I watched TV sitting on the bed, and they would come and I would look at them and then whatever. And it's like, no, but when you look at the younger cousin, you saw her private area. It's like, yes, because she was naked. It's like, no, but you look. If anybody comes naked, I most likely look down. Like, you think I'll be like, oh, no, okay, whatever. It didn't faze me. But it's like, no, but you looked at her private area. Well, she was naked. You see, that's proof. I was like, you trash us. So you tell me that if somebody comes naked, you will not look down, or you just look. And they try to bring it, no, and they try to turn it into something sexual. No, look at this naked kid and whatever. She come in, okay. Nothing. But now, you see, that's proof. You looked at the private area. Well, she was naked. It's impossible to not see that. And they're like, now that's, you see, that's a pattern. We mapped it as like an imbecile. And that's because the way the brain is constructed in these retarded ways, and it's just to see, we are reconstructed in so illogical ways. And then you have these people who act accordingly. They think they can act like, oh, then that's proof you're gonna die. You see, you piece of pathetic low lives. Do you understand how stupid it is? And so the question is like, oh, but this little girl is your little boy. So if it was a little boy that walked in and I looked down, because that I'm probably look okay, whatever. And they're like, no, but you see that you feel kind of uncomfortable with it. It's just so weird. They're just trying to find some things to create. And the reason why they were doing that is because, as you know, sometimes the validation, I don't know why I even do that, but it's good to hear being validated. But I knew the reality of things. They're trying to say, because this woman was talking about, okay, when kids do inappropriate things, certain things are not as serious as other. For example, if a 7-year-old is looking at the private area of a 4-year-old or something like that, and that's not something worth calling out or something, or talking to. I'm like, okay, they talk about, like, literally, imagine like a 7-year-old with a 4-year-old, and the 4-year-old, like, can I see? Or a 7-year-old, can I see? That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about, oh, if somebody, if the mother walks with a 4-year-old and they walk and the kid just looking at stupidity. The way they just rewire the retardation, and then they go back into this video I made about, like, my friend's little cousin. They were putting lotion in the living room on her. So I'm from this African origin, so this is commonly done. When I was a kid, they did the same thing. So I see this kid, okay, whatever. It doesn't faze me. But they try to turn out, no, you looked at her, you looked at even the part, and they try to turn it into something sexual. Like, I don't care. The kid naked. I tried to change it now, but you saw the private area in this way. You look. I was like, trash. Disgusting, sad, pathetic low life. These people are so pathetic and so sad, trying to find a pattern. That at this point they are creating narratives that are falsified to make you accept these manipulations, which is what they commonly do to target individual. But the important part is the entities running this program. I don't need to look for pattern. Child Protective Services literally ranked the DoD network as trafficking some of the most child porn in the United States. 19th out of 3,000 out of 2,900. Is there like a pattern there? When they compare to the manipulations and the false narratives, like, no, but when you were at your friend's house and they were putting lotion on this kid in front of you, when you looked at her, you saw her naked, and which meant you saw her private area. Of course, she's naked in front of me. But the thing is how they've changed it. Matter of fact, as I speak about it, they stimulate me. It's like, die. Well, they stimulate me. This is a whole character. Try to create that. Now you look at the private area and this. It's just the nastiness. And that now we prove the trash. We prove that you do the pedophilia type of torture. And not only do you do the pedophilia type of torture, the entities running this program are so pedophilia centric that the Department of Defense network is ranked 19th out of 2,900. This trash just caused a man to kill now 18 people, which a 14-year-old child died. They proved that they tortured children sexually. These are the people trying to make you accept